Hey, what's up, guys? It is your boy RC here, and I am doing this hangout or this live stream as a pre-debate show. I've already made something about this earlier, and I am just now making another video of this. Well, technically, this is the actual stream itself in preparations for the actual live stream that's going on the Non Sequitur show, which the link for the actual thing will be in the description for y'all to check that out, and hopefully y'all go by when it actually happens, and support your favorite apologist. I actually did this as I am making my sandwiches. Yes, I was a little too far-esque on it, so what I'm going to be doing is instead we'll be eating my sandwich with some milk alongside this. So hopefully y'all will enjoy. Don't get too bored, and we'll see where that goes. So pretty much just gonna chillax. If y'all want to talk in the live chat, feel free to do so as well. But if you want the link, feel free to message me via Skype, Twitter, Google Hangouts, or Discord, and I'll gladly get you the link to come in. My alarm is supposed to go off any minute now. It's about them sandwiches. Oh, we'll see where that goes. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to keep my Skype up in case I get a call from the guys later on. Because as soon as they call me, that's when I'm hanging up to go out and do that. And I think I scared myself doing that sound. Interesting. Interesting and wonderful thing that people can do. What the? I swear, I think I'm... I think... Okay. Well, at least somebody's in here. Thought I was hearing things. But I've taken... Don't start with that.
I am not AJ. I am. I don't know who I am, but I'm not her.
Grandma, you got out of the asylum again. You lost your memory. We're gonna get you back. We're gonna get you back. How are you doing, AJ?
I'm doing good, and I've witnessed something so horrifying on YouTube.
Well, if it's my face, I apologize ahead of time for that.
No, your face is fine. I don't know what this is called. I don't know what this game is called, but I kind of want to find it and play it myself because you are literally a floating, jiggling butt throwing deuces at things. And you'd think there'd be more games like this, but no, this one is completely unique. It's so good, but so bad. I don't know why I'm giggling so much. This is so immature.
Oh, well then. It's a game that this happens.
Yes.
Well, this is what happens when we make incredible independent video games that are horrifying, like Corpse Party, and we've reduced it now to making video games about butts flinging poop. We could have gone with a very plotted out and terrifying story about children killing people that are ghosts, but no, we get butts. Butts
are so funny, dude. They're butts.
Butts. And Steve McRae says, "What the heck did I walk into?"
Hi, Steve. I don't know what to say.
Well, you might want to think of some things because I actually got the thing went off on my phone, so I'm gonna give you some mod controls, and I'm going to quickly try my best as fast as I can to get the sandwiches out of the oven, prepare them, and then set up a table so I can have that with my glass of milk beside me as I do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host AJ, as I'll be right back real quick.
Milk and sandwiches. Interesting combo. I prefer cookies with milk, but you do you. What are you looking at? Go away. I'm gonna find out what this game is called. I really need to know. Hold on. I can't see the chat. Anything. If people are talking in the chat, I can't see it right now. Hold on. There we go. Newest. I told you to go away. Go on. Thank you. There we go. Now I can see the chat. Hey, everybody. Oh, Steve, I'm not going to co-host for you. No way. It's not like I haven't wanted that for a while and you never asked or anything. I did not vanish. How do you fix this thing? There we go.
Are you...
Hi.
Can I come in? No? No, not your conversation, but to the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, I may or may not have left your community. And I may or may not have deleted my other account.
Okay. And I am back. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Right.
I didn't do anything bad.
What did you do?
Nothing. I'm telling the truth.
Okay, I believe you. Let's see here. The heck? What's Steve saying? See, so what are you going to bring to a table for problem of evil, logical defense, evidential theodicy? You will see for yourself. Don't try to ask for the spoilers. Don't be that guy. I mean, seriously, enjoy the entertainment when it happens. Otherwise, the magic gets ruined. AJ, how did RC rope you into co-hosting? I am Jelly. Jelly, he says. I have no idea, my friend. Let's see. When is AJ gonna co-host with me? Oh, so Steve wants you to be a co-host.
I told him that of course I wouldn't because he's never asked.
You see, Steve, this is what happens. If you want, to get somebody to co-host with you, you gotta ask. I'm pretty sure you had to do that with Kyle, or maybe Kyle asked you. Maybe you gotta learn from Kyle. I mean, at least Kyle has swag. And you can tell him I said that, Steve.
If I could do a Cartman voice and say Kyle, I would.
Oh, man. Okay, let's see how I can eat this sandwich. Because I'm using sandwich buns, or sandwich bread, not sandwich buns. Not bad. All right. Anyways, let's see. And of course, we got Jamal, which surprisingly that he's watching this. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna give the link a bit. How are you doing, by the way, AJ?
I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday, something really weird happened. I know I should be happy about it, but to me, it's so confusing.
What's that?
Well, you know how I do art with resin and clay and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, recently I got an Instagram and I thought it would be horrible. But as soon as I started posting some of my resin art, it got over 1,000 views and likes on it. Like, literally within the few minutes I posted my spoon resin, it just
Mm-hmm.
started spreading everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't know how this happened. Maybe somebody shouted me out, or it's really good. I don't know.
You never know. I mean, sometimes random things like that can get viral pretty quickly, from what I've learned. Like, there was a friend of mine who got a picture taken by someone and got posted on Tumblr at an anime convention, and she found out she was Tumblr famous because of it.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and it got to the point that at A-Kon in Texas, where we were, she was asked to do a panel, to join a panel that she had a very huge convention by these big time panel hosters.
I don't know what to say. That's so cool. Maybe I should get a Tumblr too. Hmm. I'd probably make a lot of people hate me on there.
And I see Steve saying I became a Calvinist. I'm like, Steve, just because you have a beard doesn't automatically make you a Calvinist. Sure, we all have the fancy beards, but we need sound theology with it.
I got no beard. Don't want no beard.
It's cool. Usually when it comes to the females, they're usually interested in anime, or they're very strong women that I've seen. At least that's what I've seen. Like there's the Twitter anonymous people, like the Presby Chi-Chi, which is a Presbyterian version of Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball. The female reformed doctor from Doctor Who. So yeah. And yes, Jamal, I am still listening to Christian rock because I love the sound doctrine that comes out of bands like For Today and some of these other bands from Throwdown Records and such. So yeah, I'm still listening to sound theological Christian rock music. Yes, thank you for asking.
I just remembered something.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was somebody on an audition show or whatever it was called. He tried to sing a gospel song about Moses, and I felt so bad for laughing, but he did we sound like this, and it was so funny.
Wait, what?
There was a guy on one of those audition shows. I think it was America's Got Talent. He tried to sing a gospel song, and I'm not sure if it was a speech impediment or not, but he sounded really odd, and I couldn't help but laugh. He tried so hard. He seemed like a really sweet guy, but it was just a little funny.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I even as myself, we as my church, we don't have the most best of singers there, but that's what we say is like, we know we can't go to like American Idol or America's Got Talent with that kind of that voice. We have to, realize what our limits are, and it's just for the Lord. At that point, that's what we're giving our main talent to. But
that is true.
But some people, they want to take it to the stage, and you had to have the right talent to get there. But even then, whatever talents you do have, regardless, you can still use it in the church, and ain't no one gonna judge you in that.
He could sing his heart out in church. I would have loved to see that. Not to laugh, but just to hear him sing in general.
Absolutely. And I don't even know if J-Maw is still watching, because I sent him something and I said something to him, and now he's not filling up the chat anymore. Oh yeah, Steve says he missed your voice. Yeah, sounds creepy, but so what? AJ's a sweetheart.
Why, thank you. I'm glad I am sweet and a heart.
You know what? That's it. Because of that, yes, Steve McCrae, you've just been added in here. Check your Hangouts. And you will probably find... Oh, come on. Internet, stop being stupid. Okay. And I'm going to send the link out to Vekla to see if he might be interested, unless he's taking care of the kid. He's been busy ever since she's come into the world. Oh, what the? Huh. Well, at least Jamal said thanks for the invite. Maybe next time. 'Cause back then it's been usually like sort of hostile kind of responses from him, or very negative Nancy type. So, anyways, hoping to get more people. We have 9 people watching.
Yeah, I see that.
Anybody wants in? Please. Message me. And what the heck is this? Some guy named Alexander Case at this one time in band camp. What the heck? By the way, quick question. What do you think of the new name?
I like it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of different guesses for people that try to figure out what the heck it is. Oh yeah, people used to call me Christian Antichrist, tried to make fun of the name I had back then. Now, the new insult is Roman Catholic apologist, which is also what people originally thought that might have been as well. But others, of course, had assumed correctly. And
Rice and curry apologist.
Rice and curry. Well then, there's something. Rice and curry apologist. Give a defense for Rice and curry. And what the heck? Wyatt saying hashtag free CA. He's not being held into prison. He just went through a change like Bruce to Caitlyn Jenner.
Don't understand, Ma. It's just a phase.
Yeah, I no longer self-identify as Christian anarchist. I self-identify as Reformed Christian apologist. I need 3 names now. What the?
I should probably change my name.
Yeah, which way are you going to do? Because I know you got like several different sonas. You going to stick to a specific one, or?
Just Luna Lusterdust for now.
Luna! And it is our favorite weeaboo / Muslim Marshall Mathers.
Oh, it's good, CA.
Good, what's good? I'm eating chicken and drinking milk. How is your Ramadan?
Oh, it's amazing, bro. It's cool.
So, that being said, are you gonna? Well, I don't know. I think it's late where you are, so I don't know if you'll be able to watch it. You plan on watching the debate that's going to be happening on the non sequitur?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try.
You sound tired.
Yeah, it's late over here, bro.
Well, hey, man, if you feel like you're getting worn out or too exhausted, man, don't let us keep you, man. Especially during Ramadan. Lord knows you need that sleep. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully we get some more people in. But yeah, we're just chilling until yeah. See, what? I invited 16 people. None of them decided to show up in here. Anyways, and I like I like the reactions that is on this. Steve saying, "Oh God, Marshall." Why? It's like, "Hey, Marshall." Jamal Williams. Marshall is a Muslim. Like, to complete interesting viewpoints at this point. It's like, oh God, hi. Wait, he's a Muslim? What were you saying, AJ?
Are we still going to check out that one dude's website from Twitter?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Might as well right now.
Yes.
And this will be especially good since we got Vekla in here.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Isn't it a little early for Ask RC now?
You're absolutely right. That's why this is not Ask RC. This is a casual chilling out hangout.
Ah, okay. Well,
A lot of people, a lot of people like to do that. Them after debate shows. Nah, I'm cooler than that. I'm doing a pre-debate one.
a pre-debate.
Oh, you're not gonna believe this, Loon. Check this, AJ. So, Mr. Matty Lawrence has officially blocked me from on his Twitter.
Oh, what a big baby.
This is what happens when you got your theological snowflakes. They tend to melt like this person is talking about.
Wait, what's going on? What I miss?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to find the person's website. So what this is a person on Twitter, and he has a thing called Matty's Paradigm. And as you can tell from the background picture, he has a thing saying that hell is constantly expanding, and hell that is in the center of the earth is the cause of global warming. So the reason why global warming is happening is because hell is in the center of the earth, and that it's constantly expanding, and because of the heat irradiating from it, it is causing what we see in global warming.
Wait. But that's probably a play on words, right?
No, I asked him. He literally believes that is the case.
No.
Can I officially blame Satan for melting my ice drink right now?
I guess according to this guy, yeah, you could.
Wait a minute. No way this guy actually believes that hell is the cause of global warming.
He does.
No way.
He even says his church that he links it out to on Sundays knows that he believes this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he says a lot of interesting comments. Like, he says that evidence is useless. Don't even try to bother looking for evidence for Christianity or anything, because he said it's all about what you start with. And I agree, we have presuppositions, but still evidence is important. Even one of the great presuppositionalists, Greg Bahnsen, wrote The Importance of Evidence.
Right.
So this guy's website is just, what is this? The DPMS or whatever that is false. Let's see what the heck this is. It's an example of evolution, if you want to call that, of continually growing in understanding and adapting to the need of physical evidence. Okay, well, adapting to meet the needs of physical evidence, even though you wrote an article that said you don't like evidence. Okay, let's see. All right, let's just take a look at the blogs at this point. Let's see, recent post, May 25th, because this guy like posts like constantly. Created the wind, nothing too crazy there. Let's try 24th. When were souls created? Let me summarize. God existed on the first day, which God caused the water to undergo. Okay, look, this might be interesting then. On the first day, for some of which we'll get to, God chose to cause the water to undergo nuclear fusion. This both generated light and caused the formation of the elements on the periodic table, the molecules of life, DNA, RNA, replication systems, cellular organisms, and on up to various multicellular kinds. The forms created obscured, the light and darkness returned. This was not the absence of light. This was darkness of obstruction of light. Oh yeah, I forgot. He says on the second day, that's when God created gravitational singularity. Like, I kid you not, this is literally stuff that he's like, oh, and I didn't see Steve there. Hey, Steve, this is something that this guy legitimately believes.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Yeah, he literally does, Veckel. He actually believes this. But my thing is kind of strange here, because wait a minute. Young Earth creationism, that the Earth is 7,000 years old, that's fine, but hell expanding, that's too much.
And that hell and that hell is the cause of global warming.
Yeah, no, you know what another thing he believes, honestly? What? He believes that the stars are actually out by the Kuiper belt, and they're actually comprised of sapphires and rubies, giving him more of a yellow and reddish color.
And this guy is the leader of a congregation?
Yeah. He's like
No. He's not a pastor. He
no,
says
he's not
he's
pastor,
a
but he has he's part of a congregation.
yeah. He's the worship director of it.
Oh gosh! Right, and who's his pastor?
I have
Somebody probably
no
drinks a
idea.
lot.
I wonder if his pastor knows. Oh, well, no, you
He's-
said the whole congregation believes.
Yeah, he says he's told everybody, including the pastor, what he believes.
I don't know if it's his pastor or psychiatrist. Could be one and the same.
Yeah.
I've asked to have him on, dude. We wanted him on the Non Sequitur show, but he was just too much of a diva, and we were like,
Now, you know what that means.
I can't imagine people like this being such divas.
crazy.
Well, speaking of diva, y'all heard about that congregation that's supposed to be worshiping Beyonce?
Well,
No, but I'm
it's not
wondering-
necessarily like a worship of Beyonce, but it certainly puts her on a high level, especially you hear like some.
Where do I join?
I know she's
course,
not
we-
even there. She's not even at the thing.
Oh, well, that's kind of bogus.
No, like that's the thing is like
So kind of like Jesus, then, right? Oh, sorry.
Just
Kidding.
well, it depends on
that'll
which
come back
church.
to haunt you.
Depends on
Probably.
which church you go to. But anyway,
But
no,
Really?
like,
It's like
apparently
a
it was
church of
Roman-
Beyonce?
Yeah, apparently the church that hosted it was actually originally a Roman Catholic church, but attendance was low, so they figured what's the good way to do it is to have a
it was-
Beyonce.
wait, it was a Catholic church, but
They didn't turn it into a church of Beyonce, but they had a Beyonce mass, meaning it was a mass
just a
that
mass.
was honored and credited to Beyonce.
I would join a J-Lo's ass church. Oh, can I say butt? Okay, butt. Sorry, butt. I would join a church dedicated to J-Lo's butt. That was like a good
And
church.
she would-
man.
man, she would have two sanctuaries, one for her and one for her butt.
Yeah, that'd be like, yeah, exactly. She probably
Dang.
worships at her own altar. Although it was better back in like the late 90s. But hey,
Yeah.
you know.
The Ben Affleck J Lo or the P Diddy J Lo?
Oh, which one was the 90s? I don't know. I don't know her dating.
Both of them.
Okay. Oops.
It was P Diddy first.
I remember seeing her Saturday Night Live, and I don't remember what year it was. It was one of the best, funniest skits they had. I mean, it was a really good skit, but I mean, she was in good shape. I have no idea what year it was.
Well, last I saw her, she's still in good shape. I mean,
Oh well, yeah, I'm sure. But
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, the Beyonce mass. I mean, they were singing all kinds of songs. I'm a survivor. You know, I mean, what?
Yeah, it was a whole choir, including the church itself, that was singing in unison. I'm a survivor.
well, I mean, I like that kind of Southern gospel type singing stuff. If they want to rock out to Beyonce,
Oh,
I say
boy,
go for it.
Boy, you need to come over to my church then.
I like the revival type stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll get you going. We're pretty much like if Hank Williams, George Jones, and all them guys were all to come together, form a church, and they were the choir and all that. That's pretty much us. We just like play our country instruments, and I play bass for the worship, and we get down. Especially when we're doing fast songs, like when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I'm scaling that sucker. So
Okay, that's it.
so since
Boy,
the
we have no rhythm, do we?
no, you know why that is, except for Veckel in this case, probably because we're white.
Is that what it is? Are you thinking that just because he's of a darker skin color, he automatically has rhythm? Is that like an ontological fact?
Yes, it's science.
Okay. It's
Well,
science.
nah.
It's science.
Science.
It's probably true because I am whiter than white and I have no rhythm whatsoever.
No,
so
it's because I even heard G-Man try to rap once, and that didn't go so
Once.
well. But apparently, from what I heard, Veckel
He
can
tried to
do
rap?
some. Veckel had
Did I miss
rapped.
it?
Yeah, I
Veckel
I
Veckel
can
has
find
some
it.
serious flow, apparently.
It's on G-Man.
Wyatt has
I
serious-
messed up at the end of the rap though.
What's up, CA?
What's
Wyatt's
up?
got mad flow.
What's up,
Hey.
Wyatt?
That's not CA anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
RC.
RC. I gotta get used to a new name change.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you get used to identifying me as RC, or else I'll get offended.
Oh yeah, I'm a bigot, right?
Yes, you're a bigot towards reformed people.
Yes, he wants to be called.
Servetus.
Servetus, where? We need to burn him.
What's your take on reformed epistemology, RC?
What the heck is that?
What? Really?
Yeah.
Plantinga's Reformed Epistemology, approach for rationalizing atheism.
See, I'm not too much into the whole philosophy terms and such, so
You really never heard of Reformed Epistemology? I'm kind of surprised.
I've heard of it, but I've never looked into it. To me, it
It's
just
just a
wasn't.
way Plantinga thinks that theism can be rational.
But tonight
Well-
I'm going to Fanime.
Anime.
Yeah.
But like I suggested earlier, by the way, I personally do not approve of the street preaching method towards these guys because I've, worked with them in terms of the evangelism. If anything, make sure you have. Hold up, I'm chewing food while I'm talking, and this is disgusting.
I have that problem too. I can't chew and think at the same time. So,
Beckel, your daughter is adorable.
I know.
But
Do you have tracks, Wyatt?
chick.
Okay. What I would do is simply hand out tracts. If you got any like copies of Bibles that you're able to freely give out, that would be another thing. Just like eBay out saying you got some free stuff that you'd like to hand out, and if someone comes over and talks out, or maybe even before you can give them some, maybe ask a series of questions or something like that, or explain like a little story thing like we did with this walking stick gospel method that we did a while back.
Or I could probably do the Ray Comfort method, where I go around and ask people all kinds of questions.
No, the better idea that'll attract him is the Ray Comfort method, in which you actually have money. And if that's the case, you better have $100 because then the geeks are going to swarm you.
And and make sure. Well, I guess it all depends on what part of town you're in. They know you got some money. They're coming after you. Forget about the gospel.
RC, come down to California.
San
man.
Jose.
I will do some street stuff with you. I
San Jose.
even got stuff printed out that I wanted to hand to people and ask them questions and kind of get a random sampling of things. Not a street epistemology type thing, but just kind of getting a general sample.
Jason Peterson actually wants to debate a street epistemologist, I think.
Who?
They don't generally debate per se. I mean, I know
Jason
I know a lot of
Peterson. He's a guy that I know, but he's mainly on the Can't Hope in the Man, the Ministry, and the Man, the Ministry, and the Message Facebook page. Yeah.
Well, is that a documentary or something of him?
No, it's a Facebook page that me and Steve are a part of.
There's
Interesting.
a lot of pages we're part of. Yeah.
Where y'all dating then?
That's
No. Why it's not my type. I know contrary to popular opinion.
true empiricism is more his type.
Exactly. I would be all over that. His hair is superb. It's sublime. I mean,
Yeah, I know. He was obsessed with true empiricism for about a year.
Mhm.
I haven't even mentioned true in God knows how
You
long.
remember? Yeah.
Well, me
you
and True
remember
Empiricism
that?
had an interesting conversation, which now has a commentary series going with it due to one-way apologetics. So
Okay.
that's always interesting. 'Cause apparently, according to True Empiricism and who was it? Spoken. I'm not actually a evolutionary creationist or theistic evolutionist in general. Apparently, I'm just something weird that they still deem compromising with the Bible or the gospel as. That was the one thing that surprised the heck out of me. Every time he said that I'm watering down the gospel because of what I'm saying, and that I'm compromising the gospel when I'm talking about this. Turns out he uses the word gospel to refer to the entire Bible. Like when saying the gospel, he's not talking about the salvation message or anything like that. He's just referring to the entire 66 books of the Bible.
Huh.
And so
But
that concerned me.
Just
Hey,
goes to show what he
CA.
knows.
or
Yeah.
RC. Sorry,
Yeah,
RC.
yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the Three Mormons YouTube channel?
Oh no.
I've heard of it now.
Yeah, the Three Mormons YouTube channel. I'm actually trying to have a discussion with one of the guys on there. They have some pretty interesting conversations.
Yeah. By the way, we said Kyle said fine with that. By the way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We'll make that happen in June.
Yeah, about around June 9th. I'm still arranging it with the guy who actually runs it. He's a Mormon apologist.
We need to get Veckel on for something. What would Veckel have a good discussion with?
Good question. If only he was actually here, because he's just said BRB as you said that.
Diaper change time.
He's the master of diaper change. You want to have a discussion about diaper changing, different techniques? You have to ask permission to a 2-month-old to change their nappies.
I know. So you heard about that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
I would actually
I thought it was the Onion.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too. It's real.
Gee. I mean, anybody who's a parent has
I
to
would
laugh.
actually.
Yeah, that's the type of relationship my daughter and I have. So she just gives me a certain eye, a look in the eye, and I just like, okay, you want me to change your diapers? Okay. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. So.
Wait till she gets older and it's like, Daddy, can I have this? Can I have that? You're like, God dang it, yes. Son.
Yeah, well, she's gonna be like 35, still pooping in her pants.
Well,
She's gonna come to my house. Dad, don't go cheap on me now. I need my pants.
I need good nappies.
all right, well, y'all take care. While y'all continue talking, I'm gonna get me some water because I'm from the south, and our best idea of water is sink water. So y'all do y'all's thing for a bit.
Hot down there. It's hot.
Sink water.
Yeah, Steve, checking out some of the comments on that YouTube that we did with Shannon Q. Seems like people do not really like me on there.
Yeah, I don't think they're that bad. I've seen worse.
Yeah. There was this one comment that somebody made a couple weeks ago where I had to have fun with it. You know, I just had to have fun with it. They talked about if all mankind came from Adam and Eve, why did they only had 3 sons? I just said, okay, all I need to do is quote one verse, Genesis 5:4.
Because there were other humans around at the time.
Where'd they come from?
The first creation.
Adam, it says in the Bible that sons and daughters.
No, that already hints that there are other people around at the time, because what reason would Cain have to fear for his life?
Yeah.
But it doesn't say where these people came from. If it started with 2 people and all of a sudden it talked about a couple generations, and all of a sudden these other people magically came out of nowhere, it seems kind of strange.
Well, it doesn't say only 3.
That's the assumption that these people just came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, not literally, but I mean, in the Bible, they all of a sudden we have all these other people. Well, where was their lineage? Where they come from? Where were they created from?
They came from
aliens.
They didn't. They came from the first creation, chapter 1.
the first creation, including Adam.
Nope, that's second.
Fight.
There's
Here's a discussion you can do on the non-sequitur show.
There is no contextual evidence that there was a pre-Adamic race. There's
Absolutely is.
no, there isn't.
This is a pre-Adamic argument.
They evolved.
You know what? That's what we're going to need to do. We're going to have to get
one person to show me evidence of that.
They evolved, and Adam and Eva were given a soul.
I'd like you to show me evidence that
Can I see the evidence of a pre-Adamic race of people that exist?
Yeah, chapter 1, Genesis
in the human
1
genome.
creation. Chapter 2.
Human genome goes back.
Wait, hold up, everybody, hold up, everybody, calm down. Mark, what was the?
Yeah,
Wait.
sorry if I interrupted you while I was talking. I mean,
Yeah, hold up. Just what were the verses? Because I heard chapter 1. but I
chapter
didn't-
1, first generation, first creation. Chapter 2, second creation.
Wait. You got to be.
Wait. So you're saying verse 1 of both of those chapters?
No.
Not a single one.
Chapter 1, the entire chapter, and chapter 2, the entire chapter.
No,
Okay.
absolutely.
So could you explain that?
Are you
for me?
serious?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm asking because I am a theist. Like I said, I am a theistic evolutionist. I just haven't heard, because a lot of the people that do believe that there was a pre-Adamite race,
Right.
usually says that there was one, but it was not included in the text, but that it's suggested based upon the other surrounding ancient Near Eastern texts that seems to suggest this, or like the theological messaging type. Like what's his name? I believe John Walton is one of these people that proposes this in his book, The Lost World of Genesis 1.
Right.
So
okay, well, first of all, the first creation was God created male and female, and also everything was created in a certain order. If you go into Genesis chapter 2, he creates the Garden of Eden. Now, garden there, the Hebrew word is an enclosure, which I don't even know if that makes any difference, but that is where he put man. So he created man and put him in the garden. Okay, and the creation story, as far as when vegetation appeared, when the animals were created, when man was created, is different than chapter 1. So that's where I don't understand why people say, "Oh, it's just a retelling." No, well, how are you going to take the Bible? Are you going to say that about anything in the Bible that doesn't fit your worldview?
The creation account in Genesis 1 is based on the Babylonian model.
That the Genesis account is, what do you mean, like based upon the Babylonian model?
It's modeled after it. It just gives credit where it's due.
See, I don't care about that. I care about what's in the Bible.
Right.
Well, we care about what's in the Bible too, and you haven't shown us any evidence of there being a pre-Adamic race.
Well, let me see if I get this.
Other than the conjecture that we just heard.
Well, I think if I understand where Mark is coming from, if I'm understanding him correctly, are you suggesting that, like, when it says man, he created man in his own image and such, and we're focusing on, if we take the Yom, for example, as a long period of time, it's not necessarily focusing on Adam here until we get to Genesis chapter 2, but rather it's focusing on the human race, the man who is then said created male and female.
Because
that thing right there.
Yeah, because man, Adam, means humanity, the human race.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, male and female, he created them.
Yeah, it could also mean the red one, red clay. I mean,
right. So it's based on the Hebrew context as to what exactly is in reference here. And so far, in terms of Genesis 1, as the scholars have noted, that in the way that Genesis 1 defines it.
Okay. So another thing is that he created male and female. He created them and told them to be fruitful, multiply, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Adam, he had to breathe the breath of life into Adam's nostrils. That's a completely different story.
Right.
He created Adam and Eve from scratch.
Right. But at the same time, Mark, while I can understand where you're coming at with that, at the same time, understand, like, because I'm in your camp on this, but with Veckel, and I can understand at the same time where he's coming from.
Oh, so
when he looks at this, because even some of the scholars like John Walton and Heiser note that the issue, and I forget what the Al Tazaviv, the one well-known university in Israel for Hebrew studies, Al Taviv, that's what it is, that he notes that it has sort of a thing where it goes in the general poetic broad sense of things, but in chapter 2, that's when it narrows down on the 6th day for focusing on something in specific, particular. So I can understand for Veckel how he can come to that conclusion, because I mean, if you do see the similarities that occur, which there are similarities, I will grant that, in what happens within verse 26 through 28, we see a very similar amount of instances concerning Genesis in Genesis chapter 2, but in much more detail. But we still see, they're created, they are told to be fruitful, to multiply, they are created in the image of God. So I can still see that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand the other side. I'm just saying what I believe. I believe that there was definitely pre-Adamite world. And I've always believed that, even as a kid, a teenager. And and the wonderful thing about it is that it has nothing to do with my salvation. And that's the important part. You know me, I've said it before. If I could, I'd toss out the Old Testament. I mean, seriously. The more I study, the more I change my mind on that. But
Oh yeah, I forget what there was. It was some book that was published that talks about like the relevancy and the importance of still having to study the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And I love that idea, and I think it's good, especially in light of one sermon I preached on, which was on the entirety of Jonah. I'll have to send you that, by the way, when I get a chance.
So, RC, how do you reconcile that with, obviously, since you're a theistic evolutionist, you know as well as I do, humans have been around for several million years. How do you reconcile the Genesis?
Actually 200,000 years.
2.8 million years.
Well, I have my own view on that.
The first human for the human's genomes was almost 3 million years ago.
Right. But even then,
I'm talking about humans in our current form, like the human race, like itself going back to Sahelanthropus was 7 million years.
I would say it was 6,000.
Okay.
See, we all have a different. So
I'm going by science. The first members of the genus Homo, which means human, was about 3 million years ago. It was about 2.8 million years ago, give or take. So how do you reconcile that with the creationist story? Now, obviously, not everybody in here is a younger creationist. You're not, which is a huge change of how the Genesis narrative is read. Whether it be a salvational issue. How do you say it?
Salvific, and I hate that word.
Yeah, I hate that word too. I'm on board with you on that one.
Our ancestors at first.
We need something that's easier to pronounce for.
Yeah, certain words suck, and that's one of them.
The first, the earliest race of humans is 7 million years ago, but
beautiful word. So Steve, what was your question?
Sahelanthropus.
That was an Australopithecus.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Australopithecus is 4 million. Goes by 4 to 3 million years ago.
Well, okay, about 4 million years ago, but that's before genus Homo.
Right.
Hey.
How could you be a member of the human race if it wasn't even a member of genus Homo? They were Australopithecus. That's a different genus.
So are ancestors.
I don't think you're following in this.
Steve, what was your question?
So if the Genesis account is basically how things came to be, we'll say metaphysically. So not so much worrying about the actual ontology, but the metaphysics involved. Why have a Genesis story even in there? If obviously that's not how the human race came to be, as far as physically. Hang on.
They weren't making.
Hold on. Let him finish. I want to answer.
Now you could go the reasons to believe route, like the Hugh Ross route, right? That at some point that the human race was ensouled. Okay, but is that what you think that the Genesis narrative is kind of doing, or why is it making the narrative such that there was a special dispensation where God created everything in this small time frame and then created Adam and Eve, which was the first humans, which we know wasn't the case.
Right. Well, I believe that, this is just my personal belief, and I don't care what others have said. I've already gotten shunned by trim puricism and such regarding it. That, at the moment, though it is slightly changing due to one way's criticism of me and his influence on me slightly changing my position towards another that I'll explain, is I believe that evolution existed and it caused the formation of all these other creatures throughout the time period like we would know. The only difference is I believe Adam and Eve were created unique and separate out of and not from the evolutionary framework, that Adam was literally formed from the ground.
So RC, so do you believe that Adam and Eve were the actual first humans then?
At the moment, yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay.
They were the first. They were the first behavior.
But Mark, you don't believe that though.
Yes, I do.
Wait a minute. There was a pre-Adamic race though.
There was.
But they weren't human.
They were the first behavior. The first behaviorally modern humans.
Okay, and again, I fail to see how is that validated in the Bible. I mean, I know there were creatures on the planet before Adam and Eve were created, but I mean, as far as a humanoid creature like next to Adam and Eve, I mean, we just don't see any contextual evidence for that at all.
I do.
Well, it highly implies
you haven't
that
showed it though.
When Cain was
Hold up. Yeah, we went over the verses already, and like I mentioned,
but we haven't really. I mean, well, we heard a lot of the other side's arguments, but we haven't really heard my side yet.
Well, yes, sure I have. I've heard it many times.
Okay, so we get to hear your side all the time.
No. You just
No.
didn't say it. No, I was not. No, I'm waiting.
Well, I guess I'm just waiting to see because I guess your argument is just not convincing. I mean, what we've seen is a bunch of conjecture.
I'm not trying to convince you.
Right.
Well, that's fine.
Because that's what Mark was
But,
saying.
but you did dogmatically no, but that's not how you started it off. First, you said it absolutely is proven.
To be fair, Mark, yeah, it did almost sound like that. But yeah, as he pointed out, Mark did say that to him that's what it seems.
I guess I'll leave it at that then. And since Mark said that it's not a salvific issue, and I agree with him on that. So,
yeah.
Overall, Genesis was not making scientific statements; it was giving credit to where it was due.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was corrected. Veen corrected me, and he's right. I shouldn't have said ontologically vice metaphysics, because obviously ontological is a huge part of metaphysics. I probably should have said ontological as opposed to like existential, where the existence of being, right? The Adam and Eve existing, rather than what is the actual case of the state of the universe kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, RC, and I'm glad that you're trying to reconcile it. But at the same token is that the Bible itself does make it appear as Adam and Eve are literally the first humans, not just of the human race that we have modern, but of all time. And we know that they're not the first humans. We know, again, millions of years of human lineage.
How do you know they weren't the first?
Well, that's the thing. I believe, based just on the Bible at that point, that's
you're just calling them modern humans. They're the first modern humans.
Yes.
They're the first behaviorally modern humans.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I just
anyway,
first human.
Semantic. Mark, you're not a younger creationist?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I want to get into that. I believe that Adam and Eve are the bloodline that we need to be concerned with. I believe that Adam and Eve are the humans that we know of today. So
are you a gap theorist then?
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, no.
I didn't even know I was an Arminian or a Calvinist, or I don't pay attention to that.
I'll just have RC pick positions for you.
You
just throw one out. That's you.
Well, RC told me about this place where I can get this wonderful free literature. So I ordered all this stuff, and it's all Calvinism.
Well, the closer you get to God, the more you become a Calvinist. So.
I'm beginning to think that might be true.
Hey,
I was partially joking, but
no. But
jokes, Beckel, they're gonna come true.
Who do I listen to? I listen to John Piper. I listen to. Anyway, Steve, you're an atheist, right?
No, I'm an agnostic.
Oh, okay.
In every sense of the word.
All right. So, in other words,
he's almost there, guys. Oh. Yeah.
Listen, Beckel, you're such an optimist, Beckel.
All right. Well, then I'm not going to discuss what I was going to discuss with you.
But anyways, I got to talk off anyways. But RC, good talking to you, man. We're going to see you tonight, I guess, right?
Yeah, in about 40 minutes.
All right, so I got to go get some stuff taken care of too. And good luck tonight. I don't know what you guys are going to really talk about. I didn't really talk to you or David about if you're going to do logical or evidential or whatever. But I just got to tell you what.
Shot frame.
I love you to death. You know that, brother. But I'm going to hold your feet to the fire a little bit, and just make sure that you stay on topic. And I know you guys are both mellow, so we're not going to have a shit show like tomorrow, like last night. That was just ridiculous. But it was fun. We enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong.
What show was that?
You didn't watch last night, dude?
No.
Oh, it was ugly.
What happened?
We actually had to boot the guest.
Who was on it? Who's the guest?
What was his name? That's how little I cared.
You talking about the flat earther person?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, now I do want to see it.
Oh, it was dude. It was. Oh, it was. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be known as one of our best shows. That's how bad it was.
Why do you and Kyle pick low hanging fruit all the time?
I don't like the low hanging fruit. No. Hey, wait. RC's going. Wait.
Hey,
like that dumbass preacher from the other night.
He's still going on. He made a video and basically said he was dogpiled and blah blah blah. And I'm like, really?
Well,
really,
you had to be dogpiled. You were dealing with rags.
He was asking for it.
Well, I mean, when you have that kind of stupid position, and I mean, there's all positions we all just don't agree with, but I think everybody who thinks, that the kids should be executed for being unruly, that's kind of objectively stupid.
What?
This is what happened. Let me just say something here. This is what happens when you have theonomy as your belief, is when you believe that the entire 613 commandments, at least when you then start saying, well, there's moral and they put all kinds of things into the moral law category. This
RC.
It's a problem.
And RC, you want to know the pathetic thing about all that is that the majority of theonomists that I know of are Calvinists.
Yeah.
Well, it is a Calvinist.
What is up with that?
Well, because it was actually started off as a Calvinist theology belief, but there's a branch that splits off that disagrees with that. I mean, Greg Bonson, for example, unfortunately was one person who half of his works, besides the apologetics on one half, were the other half defending the concept of theonomy. And I cannot support that at all.
Watch it, I'm telling you, watch the one last night. And yeah, that Matt guy, that pastor, he advocated the position that if kids were unruly, they should be executed, but not by him. The state,
by the government. Yes.
Wait, now the name of the show is the Non Sequitur Show.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
That's the same way you spell atheist apologetics, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's guys like that who
I'm not a big fan of atheist apologetics, so I don't care.
It's guys like that who grew up in fundamentalist households without a proper Christian education who will become anti-theist eventually.
Right. And here's another thing about the term fundamentalist. I don't even use that term to describe these people, because the term fundamentalist means you're just affirming the fundamental essentials. That's literally all that term means. That's why I used extremist for most of these people.
Well, evangelist used to mean somebody who evangelizes, didn't it?
Evangelist, yeah.
I call them nutcases.
But anyways, I gotta go. I gotta prepare for the night. So RC, we'll see you tonight. Hey, Veckel, good seeing you, man. I know we don't get a chance to talk much, but you're welcome to drop by anytime. And you know what? We'll figure out a discussion for you. Maybe you can do a pre-Adamic thing. I don't care. I think it would be interesting.
Oh, better yet, you could do a Hebrew Israelite show, because he's dealt with them.
Oh, I would love Veckel to do a Hebrew Israelite thing.
Well,
That went on, but he kept running late, so we kind of like gave up on that.
I'm probably not the best guy for that subject, but I could.
We find something interesting. But anyways, Wyatt, good seeing you again too. And Mark, nice to meet you. Please drop by. And the White Engine, you too. See you tonight. And AJ, always a pleasure. You always, you got a soft spot in my heart, girl. So peace. Share to that.
All right. So this, Mr. Veckel.
All right, see you, Steve.
Because you don't answer YouTube messages and everything, what happened to the other parts of the Helter Skelter videos?
Shoot. What other part?
It said, the one I watched said part 4 or 5, and I couldn't find any other ones.
Oh, they're there. I just years ago, I was still kind of new to YouTube, so I kind of I might have poorly entitled them.
Wait, what do you mean?
They're not all about the Helter Skelter verse, though. They're about different other issues I have with the Message Bible.
Oh yeah, I have the collection to some of the different. If you're looking for part 5, that one's called As Above, So Below.
Yeah.
Right, I saw that.
There was one video I had to take out because I was corrected by another Christian on it. It was about which is it? It's verse. Shoot. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot. I used to know this by heart. It's a Zechariah 13:7, I think, where it talks about Jesus walking into a door, or something like that. If you compare the King James says, and one might say, what are these marks in your hands? And then I will say, or then he'll say, I got these from the house of my friends. But in the Message Bible, it says, how did you get that black eye? And then he will say, I got that from walking into a door.
Well, you know what's funny? In my watch later list, the third video in is The Slippery Slope of Subverting the Word of God, the Message Bible Exposed.
Yeah. And here's the thing that's, well, I'm not necessarily going to say it's a heretical one, but it does have some problems. One of my favorite voice actors has made a recording of reading that entire in the Gospel of John, and that is Vic Mignogna.
That name sounds familiar.
I wouldn't even want to hear.
Have you ever heard of Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's the voice actor, Vic Mignogna.
Ah, that's why that name sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, he's an openly devout Christian, and he did a audio recording for the Gospel of John message translation.
Was he doing it
I didn't know that.
in a ridicule, or he was doing just?
He loves the translation, and when he goes to like sometimes do church like church Sundays with Vic Mignogna at the conventions, he'll read from that.
Does he do the translation for all the Bible books in the Bible?
No, he only did it for that one that he sold as a CD, or they gave away as a CD. I think somebody else did the audio reading for the message.
By the way, I'll call you CARC. Yeah, I didn't like the Amplified Study Bible, so I bought the NASB Study Bible, MacArthur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't read the Amplified. It didn't sit right with me.
Mm.
But you've cost me a fortune because of the one video that you did.
Which one?
Get this book, get that book, that one.
Did you seriously buy all those?
You have no idea.
Hey, CA, you should see my library.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Man,
You're
see
pretty
my
good at
library.
marketing, aren't you?
I didn't intend for them to be bought all at once. I thought.
Well, no, some of them are on back order, but
Okay. Woo! Ah.
Oh man.
there's my Arlene was like, "What are you getting? What are all these boxes you're getting?" And I was like,
Oh man. You should see my library, man.
"Yeah, I would probably love to have your library."
Let's see.
You ever notice how
on one
many
side you got all kinds of apologetics books, Young Earth Creation. On one side you got King James onlyist books. Right in the middle of it you got Mormon books, and
Well
and
just felt
And, you know.
yourself in front of it, like some of the like James White, Dr. Brown, and David Wood, and all them do, and definitely look intelligent. That's for sure. I would do that, but I would have to sit down because my bookshelf is so small.
You ever know
oh
when
man, I got like a 3-volume set of McConkey's commentaries.
McConkey was a honky.
No, McConkey. Okay, you know who McConkey is, right?
Nope.
Okay, the apostle of the LDS Church back in the day when he wrote Mormon Doctrine.
Oh, now I know that name sounds familiar.
Yes, Bruce R. McConkie. He wrote a doctrinal commentary on the New Testament.
Hmm.
So
You
what
ever
you
notice
get,
on YouTube
what you
they
get,
send themselves?
yeah.
Wait, what was that? White Engine?
You ever notice how certain how many YouTube atheists have books in their background, make them look smart?
Well, I mean, I think that some of them might actually be. I mean, the same argument's usually been said about.
Well, that's why I don't turn my camera on, because I'm trying to be humble. So
Right.
Yeah, me
yeah,
Likewise.
just you know,
all right, about
I don't want to brag or anything.
Well, we're not comparing book sizes here.
Okay,
I see why.
if we were.
So I do have a serious question about what some people consider scripture. Okay, so
All right.
my question is, I used to do my own book distribution for ISKCON. So I have all this Hindu scripture.
Right.
And I'm like, do you put it in the trash? Do I call them up and say, I mean, I don't know what to do with it.
All right. So concerning the old books, that's up to you. Because a lot of people will usually try to go to the verse where it says, you know, that they burned their books, and that's why book burning was such a popular thing, was because of an interpretation of that. That was only for some converts that felt that if they had that in their lives, that would, you know, then again, Veckles are already knowing what I'm about to get into, and this is what I say. This is the Veckel thing I talk about here, Romans 14 issue. So if you feel like you need to get rid of it, you know, call them up or sell it to some library or.
Here's my problem, though. It's not a doctrine that I want people to learn.
Okay. All right. If that's the case, do you feel that that you might want to get involved in do in dealing with apologetics against Hinduism?
You know, that's something I've actually never thought about. I've been so busy just getting back into things that I never even thought of that.
Well, some of the people I've noticed that were like, for example, say former Muslims would keep the Quran and Hadith literature that they have gathered.
No, I'm talking cases of books to give out. I have I can't tell you how many copies of Bhagavad Gita, how many copies of. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
And the same thing too. Like for, in this case, actually a Seventh-day Adventist or former Seventh-day Adventist that I have one of his books called Dale Ratzlaff is his name. He goes around to seminars and usually introduces the literature that they use when you are talking to them, or what they'll hand out to you that they try to distribute. And he says, here's what it says. I've read it, and look at one of the key things that it says. So he uses this to focus on, okay, when you deal with them, here's their tactic. Here's one thing that they say to you and what they normally generally put into their literature. So there's one way of doing it that people like Dale Ratzlaff has done with Seventh-day Adventist distribution literature. So that would be something. But again, if you feel like you don't want to engage in that issue and you really don't want it getting out there, you can trash it, burn it, or do what you need, do what you want with it. At that
Put it in the microwave. I want to see that.
You know what?
Well, it's not a peep.
There is something somebody said out in the outside chat, and that is recycle.
Well, that's an idea.
Or I can put tracks in them. I can put tracks in them and give them to the temple.
That's a good idea right there.
There is something that I wanted to say. I've been meeting with LDS missionaries, having good conversations with them inside their institute building. Now, the good thing about their institute building is they have everything. Mormon. They have everything.
So it's pretty much a huge library at that point.
No, it's like, okay, they have the Journal Discourses, they have Mormon Doctrine, they have Articles of Faith by Talmage. And they even have a Jehovah's Witness Bible.
Well then.
Dang
it.
So they have they have almost everything, and I just pick up the books, and they have the all the incenses going back to 1971. So the King Follett's in there. Yeah.
Okay. If you can send him personally, just one-on-one the link, because I don't know if I have him on my Hangout.
I don't have it actually. Let me see if I can.
Oh, well, you on your phone or?
No, but for some reason the window opened without an address bar.
Well, I have him on Hangouts or something like that. It's just saying that he needs to accept my chat invitation before I can actually give him the link.
Oh, let me see.
Oh yeah, I did have a question on the King Follett though.
What about it?
When Joseph Smith quoted Bereshit, and he says the council or the gods had a plan. What do you think of that?
I believe God does have a plan. I haven't studied fully the King Folly discourse. All I know is that at one point, he says the one thing where he says that I forgot what exactly he mentions. That he said that he's going to refute something concerning God.
Oh, God was from all eternity.
Yeah, that he doesn't believe that God is eternal, that God is a created being, and he says, "I come to refute that idea."
Right.
Yeah, that's the main thing I know for him. Because of that, it's already showing signs he's a false prophet. So.
Yeah, I actually had the Mormon missionaries read that, and I think those are like the first LDS people that actually read it in a long time.
Yeah, I brought the same thing up with them a while back.
Yeah, they read the whole discourse. I'm just like, whoa.
I might
actually think of it. It's interesting.
I might actually get some Jehovah's Witnesses to come out here, because I got one of the books that you got from that website, Mark. I don't know if you got this one yourself though, called does God rule everything by A.R. Dent. And one of the things I noticed with Jehovah's Witnesses is they love to hand out things like saying the world is totally out of the control of God. It's all in everything bad that happens is completely in the mindset and control of Satan. And so they pretty much try to suggest even like anything, God has lost power over things. And so I think this would help them study because it has the verses there that they can examine for themselves.
Oh, this is going to be the problem of evil, and their answer to the problem of evil.
Yep. Which, by the way, again, in about almost 20 minutes, that is going to be on the Non Sequitur show. So if you're watching, there's that link that's in the description saying watch it here, where you can go click that and get ready to watch me take it on with the host of Dogma Debate, David Smalley, as we tackle the problem of evil concerning God.
What's his last name?
David Smalley.
Oh. Are you going to tackle the assumption of the gratuitous evil?
I have no idea what that means. All I'm going to deal with
useless evil. The assumption of useless evil.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a such thing as useless.
Yeah.
Thank you, CA. I mean, RC.
It's gonna take time.
I know, but it gets on my nerves.
And, you know, speaking of J-Dubs, I did know someone who was a former J-Dub, but she was so used to calling God Jehovah.
Yeah.
It was so weird, and of course she denied the Trinity too. I don't know where she is now. It's been a few years, but yeah, when I first met her, she was just recently got out of the Watchtower Society.
So does McCraney. McCraney denies the Trinity.
Yep.
Why does James White still then like do us talking with the guy? Oh well.
I know a lot of Christians that aren't Trinitarians.
I wouldn't call them Christians.
Are they Christian?
But at the same time.
No, I mean they call themselves Christians.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say they're not.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's one of the discussions I'm going to have with the guy who runs the Three Mormons YouTube channel.
About the Trinity?
Yeah, the Trinity. I think we're going to go into works versus grace salvation. So I'm going to rely heavily on the Apostle Paul for that. So,
let me ask you guys something. Which do you think is a more damnable heresy? The belief that there is no Trinity, or the belief that works is what brings salvation?
Works is that which brings salvation, I would say. I would say they're both damnable, but I had to pick one.
I agree, because the reason why I agree with that is because I do sincerely believe that there are people out here who don't know jack squat about the Trinity, but they call themselves Christians. And maybe to some extent, some of these individuals, not all of them, but some of them are just ignorant about the nature of God as explained in the Bible, while you have others who are deliberately telling people that, with the intent to deceive.
Yeah, so what about those of us who question it? I mean, I just had this, by the way, my roommate is starting to come around. Anyway,
keep on the work, brother.
Yeah, and she's 72, so it's like, Anyway, we were just having a discussion about this the other day, and what we decided was that, I'm confused. I believe in the Trinity, but I certainly can't say that I understand it.
Right, and I think that not everyone fully understands it. That's one of the things. It's certainly a mystery, but there's still at least the key components we can comprehend a bit. Like, there's a good debate that I would recommend if you're curious about it that has good arguments from both sides, but ultimately I think this guy won, and he's unfortunately passed away.
Nabil?
Yeah, the Nabil Qureshi versus
Shabir
Ali debate.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
That was, I think, his last debate.
Yeah.
His last public debate that he did, and it was flawless. It was absolutely amazing.
Especially when he brought up Daniel 7.
They're funny names. Does anybody have a link?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the link.
Oh, and by the
Yeah,
way,
I remember that. That was pretty cool. That he actually brought up, and not only that, he brought up a whole lot of things from the Old Testament, which Trinitarians I don't think usually go to the Old Testament, do they?
Some of them, most of them do, but there are some that will, you know,
Oh, and
go obsessed with the. Huh?
can I put another quick plug? Oh well, not another, but one quick plug in.
Quickly.
Okay, if you want, to me, hands down, the best book apologetics on the Trinity is Dr. Robert Morey's book called Trinity: Evidences and Issues.
No, James White's.
No.
We will debate on this.
Absolutely not.
As much as I love the James White book, I have to agree because Robert Morey's book, I will say this though. This has to be kept in mind about Morey. He did not get his accreditations from his PhD and such from a fully credited seminary. So he's not like from a fully actually good credited university and such. So he's not what we call a legit PhD, but his scholarship and work has been approved of by many great people, including what would be considered the Dr. Michael Heiser before Heiser was born. What was his name? General Han Solo quotes from him sometimes. What was it?
There was a feud between James White and Robert Morey, I think.
Yeah, because Morey made a comment about blowing up the, what do you call that cube? The Muslim cube.
Yeah, the
Kaaba?
Kaaba. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here.
Anyway, why you think? I just want to throw in real quick. The book it's called The Forgotten Trinity. It's the James White book. Even in the very first few of his pages, James White tells the reader that do not look to this book as a primary source for apologetics regarding the Trinity.
Yes,
I agree, because it's physically you put the book next to Robert Morey's book. It's far thinner, of course, but that doesn't mean anything. But the Trinity, this book I'm telling you, man, if you're a married man, you better get marriage counseling before you get this book, because you're not going to put this book down, man. I almost had some issues with my wife and I because I could not put this book down.
Oh,
yeah. By the way,
come on, you can't.
By the way, it was
You can't
Gleason.
do that with
It was
Gleason Archer.
Yeah, Gleason Archer said that Robert Morey's book, and Gleason Archer was basically the leading Old Testament scholar and basically the Michael Heiser of that time before Heiser became a name. That he would totally recommend Dr. Robert Morey's book to anybody who was looking for a serious discussion on the Trinity, because Morey gets all the details down. It's well detailed, well laid out.
Highly recommended. Highly.
Yeah.
All right, it's what?
Don't hold up. Before that happens, don't buy it now. I will say this right now.
Well, I'll put it in my wish list.
Okay, then that's fair.
Then it's it.
Because I'm about to say
The name of the book?
the name of the book is called The Trinity: Evidence and Issues.
There's also another plug. Is the Mormon my brother?
That's enough
Dr.
plugins for now. We'll work in slow before. We don't need to get any suggestions for people buying other books at the moment. No wonder we're being viewed as salespeople.
I am going to actually send this video to aomin.org and say, hey, we need some commission. All right.
There you go.
And now we return to our regularly scheduled program.
Are you serious? $36?
Yeah, it's a very pricey one. Personally, I don't understand why he has done that, but from what I heard, I needed to check. I think the reason why is not just because of if it's a hardcover or whatnot. It is pretty page length. I think 500 pages.
Okay.
So that's the one thing. It's like I'm saying, on just one subject on the Trinity, that's a lot of stuff there.
That's going to be a
Oh,
paper.
nothing compared to Kent Hovind's book, right?
I will
Kent
slap
Hovind's
you.
book. Nothing compared to Kent
There's
Hovind's
plenty that can
book.
be compared to Kent.
Oh, come on. He sold his book for $500. Come on.
$500 for a book.
Jeesh, no wonder he's a rip-off artist.
No, when he first started selling his eschatology book, What on Earth is About to Happen for Heaven's Sake, he literally said, if you donate $500 to this ministry, we will send you a book, and I will sign it.
I would suggest this: if you want something that's actually cheap, they have Trinity books on that on the website that you can get the free books. Mark.
Logos actually has R.C. Sproul's.
All right, enough the plugins.
Wait a minute. I just found out he died.
Who?
Sproul.
Today?
I didn't know he was no in 2017 because I was watching a video and he had the oxygen in one of the videos and I was like, I wonder if he's all right. And
You didn't know he died? What's wrong with you people?
Well, he was around. I don't think he was around the community when this happened, because this is actually one of the reasons why there was a guy named Ozpin Chibi Kane who was a friend of mine, and he was a very far left guy. Turned out he started becoming like one of those like Antifa like type of people. And whenever I found out R.C. Sproul died, I shared that on the Google Plus page, and then he commented saying that thank God this bigot is dead. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He had just, because this was the day he died, because they were having his eulogy. They were live streaming his the services. And when he commented, there was like saying all that, and it's like, I guess you're a bigot as well. You're defending hate mongers, and people like you are the reason this country is being destroyed with
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never heard him say anything. I like the stuff that I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Calvinist too, isn't he?
Oh yeah. You got one of his books.
A Calvinist.
Actually, there's some controversy over Martin Luther King too. If you look into that.
Well,
that
we got like 10 minutes. We don't have enough time to get to the controversy before. Oh snap! I forgot. I don't have my Skype open. I don't know if I got a call from them. Yeah, I got to get ready because on standby just in case, because they might call me up any minute now, considering the time. So speaking of that, I will make sure to.
So are you going to go to the more James White approach where he actually did this with?
It's not a James White approach. I'm just simply doing, the presuppositional apologetic method towards it. But ultimately, I'm just responding to it by proving from the Bible why I think that, I guess one of the things I learned from reading John Frame's book on the matter of apologetics is the greater good defense, as well as even then point out that if he does try to make moral statements about God or about how certain actions are done, I will have to point out, though I won't be because this is the one thing I disagreed with James White in his debate with Silverman, is that he kept saying multiple times just within the opening statement that you have this that happens, but how can you say it's wrong according to the naturalistic materialist point of view? And I don't think it's necessary to say that like 15 times and within your 15 minutes of opening statements. I think you need to you can bring that up like 2 times so that if he doesn't get you the first time, maybe you can repeat it, and if that doesn't work, okay, you pretty much see where it's going. There's no use in beating a dead horse over the head about it, but you make a case.
Do not use a free will defense.
Right, I don't use the free will defense. People can use that if they want, but I think the more consistent approach is that even in times of evil, God uses that for good, and there's biblical examples of this. And I'm part of these experiences where things that would be considered evil that have occurred have even helped me grow and help me get closer with God, and have helped me helped shape me as a human being to help bring about certain things.
Are you referring to Genesis 50:20 and
That's only one of them.
Acts 4:28?
By Acts 4:28, what do you mean in that one? If I'm correct, if I'm sure I remember that one.
Where Herod, Pontius Pilate, the Jews, and the Romans came together against Lord Jesus to do what his hand had predestined to occur.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, it validates Isaiah 53. Actually, so the Apostle Peter is talking about how it was God, the Father, behind the who actually appointed these people to do to Jesus what happened to him. If you're debating Skylar fiction, you know full well that he would be bringing up First Samuel 15, the Amalekites. So.
All right, so I'm gonna have to end this here because it says they're trying to call me, or that they're trying to add me. So we'll see.
Can we
don't be like that, Mark. You know I love you.
Can we chat while we're still offline?
Yeah, I mean, y'all can still be on here whenever we go offline, but just keep in mind, and that's what I'm gonna have to do right now. Make sure I get the link for the watching, so that way, if y'all want to, y'all can do that while I get ready. Because it's gonna be good.
You want to see debate?
Why did I do that?
Oh no, but I'm gonna need to go get some food so I can watch this.
Yeah, same here.
Eat some popcorn.
Right. Anyways, they're calling me right now. So till then, I'll see you guys later. Take care.
All right.